Hi, I'm Matt from Tubby Tarot. Welcome back to another 10 Talk Tuesday. Okay, what is projecting? Projecting onto clients, projecting our own feelings onto clients. What is that all about? Hi, welcome back. Okay, something that we all need to be very aware of is projection. And this is something that is not discussed enough, I think, within the tarot community. We discuss readings and tarot spreads, and we are super excited about our different tarot decks, and we like to see who has what, where, and how. I find that the tarot community don't really talk a lot about stuff that really matters or that can be really used in practice. There are a lot of videos out there on how to do a reading, how to do this, how to do that. There are a lot of how-to videos, but I don't see a lot of talk about things, or not things, but subjects that really get us thinking, that are slightly deeper, a little bit below the surface. And that's what I want to talk about today. One of the subjects that I feel very strongly about is projecting. And for those of you who don't know what it is, and please, I'm not being condescending, there perhaps are people who've never heard of this. Projection is where you project your own needs, wants, and feelings onto someone else. Okay, it happens a lot in psychotherapy, where a person will go in to see their psychologist, and the psychologist or psychiatrist has to be very careful of projecting their view of the world, their emotional baggage onto the client. The same thing I feel happens in tarot reading, and the reason I feel so strongly about this is that tarot reading is psychology as well as magic, okay? But tarot reading is you know, if you've watched my channel long enough, you'll know that I have a strong belief that tarot reading is very much psychological. And we have to be very careful of falling into the same pit or the same trap as what a psychologist or a psychiatrist would perhaps fall into. The difference here is that those professionals, those psychiatrists and psychologists and counselors, they have been trained to recognize this phenomenon. They've been trained to understand, whoa, hang on, this is happening. Okay. Generally, us tarot readers, we're not psychiatrists, we're not psychologists. We are just people out there who want to help others. And we are the touchy-feely type, I think. And for us, no matter how we do it, we just want to help people, and we just want to spread the love, as it were. And most of us are not trained in these fields of psychology and counseling and that sort of thing. We don't feel we need to be. We feel that we can do the reading, make the recommendations that the cards tell us, but we don't think further than that. And we, as a tribe, can very easily fall into this pit of projecting our own feelings and our own needs and our own life view onto the reading. Now, it's very important to remember step number one, or rule number one: the reading is not for you. Please, I'm talking about someone who's come in to see you about a reading. I'm not talking about reading for yourself. You can project as much as you like on that. But the client is there to see, they're there to see you, but they're not there for you. They're there for themselves. They are there for your help. And it's pointless you doing a reading from a position of bias. You can't do that. And that is actually what projection is really about, right down at its fundamentals, is you would project your bias, because we all have a bias. We all live in a reality of our own making. And so what appears to be red to you might appear to be maroon to me, if that makes any sense. And we have to be very careful of reading our idea of what red is in the cards. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we have to be more aware of the fact that it's not our reading, it's the client's reading. And I think it's very difficult, especially because we are such helpful and such warm and caring people, which is what drew us to this probably in the first place. We have to be careful of giving advice, because advice is not what the people are there for. The people are there for concrete strategy dealt by the cards, and not they're not there to listen to you telling them what to do. It doesn't work like that. That's not what a tarot reading is about. Because if you start doing that, what you're doing is you are laying a transparency of bias over that reading. You are inflicting, and that is a very good word, because that's what you are doing. You are inflicting your own personal views onto that reading. And that's very, very important not to do. You have to let the reading come out the way it's meant to come out for the questioner, not the way you want it to come out for the questioner. Okay, let the reading be. Do not project. If you feel that you are emotionally involved in perhaps one of the questions. For instance, let's say it is a question about something that you feel enormously strongly about. Let us take a very serious topic that is going around at the moment, and that is abortion. Let us say that you have a client who wants to have an abortion, or who doesn't know if she should have an abortion. She comes to the tarot reader and she wants clarity, and she wants some kind of guidance from the cards, and you as the tarot reader are incredibly anti-abortion. You are pro-life. You are not going to be able to give a clear, unbiased reading. I will guarantee you can't. I will bet you any amount that you will not be able to give an unbiased reading, because your brain is not wired up and your emotions are not wired up to do that. Okay, you will project your bias or your feelings, your strong feelings, onto that reading, and that will stop the client from getting a true reflection of what the cards want to say. What she is getting is a true reflection of what you want to say. Okay, so it is something that you need to really, as a tarot reader, you really need to be very aware of this. And no, you don't have to go and be a psychiatrist or a psychologist to understand this. It's not rocket science. It's not something that's really difficult. It is a feeling. You know that you are anti-abortion and pro-life, so don't take on that client. Don't take on those questions. If the client asks you, be brave enough and be honest enough with your client and yourself to say, look, I am pro-life. I would not be able to answer that question in a non-biased way. Be open and honest about it. That client will one day thank you for being so open and honest, and will probably return with other questions later on, because it gives them a feeling of, wow, I can really trust this reader. They are so honest. Okay. Don't project what you want to happen onto the reading. All right. It's something that we really need to look out for, and you will know when you're doing it. You will understand that your mind will say, hang on. That doesn't sound like, it sounds like something I would want to happen. Okay, your internal dialogue when you're doing the reading will tell you to pull back a little bit. But you have to be very aware of this phenomenon. You have to be aware that this is a real thing, and it is called projection. And you need to be very careful of not doing that when doing a reading. So I hope that's given you something to think about. You know who I am. I'm Nat from Tubby Tarot, saying, I'll see you on the flip side.